How you doing, people? Robert here, AKA Robess, Anti-Corruption Scotland. I'm going to do a video. This is important information that people have to comprehend and understand. Now, persuasion. What is persuasion? Persuasion is when some individual, man or woman, gives information to get you to do something, unaware of the consequences. So what they do is they persuade you. Now, coercion. What is coercion? Coercion is entirely different. Coercion is to restrain and nullify an individual's will, to compel them to act or choice. And how do they do that? They bring this about by using fear, threats, and force. Now, what's the point I'm getting at here? The point I'm getting at is what's just happened in the election. Stammer and the entity known as Labour government gave information to people to persuade them to vote for Labour and eradicate the Tories. And how did they do this? They used a manifesto. Now, a lot of people think when these people use a manifesto, it's law. Manifestos are not law. A manifesto is a pledge, a promise, or an intention to do something. So when they use a manifesto, it is not lawfully binding, and they can turn everything they say in the manifesto the other direction once they're in power. And the downfall for the people that voted for Labour right now is they were persuaded with this lied manifesto, right? The lies in the manifesto, and it's a fact. Now they're in power. The three things I've just mentioned: coercion, right? This is when the coercion kicks in, people, against the people. And as we've already seen, they're targeting the people's pensions. They're targeting the landlords. They're going to target the benefits, right? And if you don't abide by their rules, not law, rules, then they're going to inflict sanctions and penalties on the sovereign people. Now, bear in mind, people still don't get this. When you register something, anything, your car, your house, your sons and daughters, register to vote, you are granting consent for them to take authority over the sovereign people without you knowing it. You become, as I keep telling you, a corporation, a person in their society. And you've granted this by registering to vote and voting. You've told them to go ahead and do what they want to do. But that isn't the way it works, right? And it isn't the way it should work, because the election there was based on fraud and lies and deception with a fake manifesto. Now, they give you a certain amount of things in a manifesto that they're going to do. They might do a couple of things out of that, right? But what they don't tell you when they're in power in the manifesto is what they're going to do after they get into power. And that's the problem people don't comprehend and understand. Like, for instance, we've still got boats coming over here, right? And nothing seems to be getting done with it. He's also promised to give £3 billion a year to Ukraine for a war it's nothing to do with this people or this country, right? It's nothing to do with this people. It's an internal war. They should be able to fight it themselves. They should be able to fund it themselves. Everything that the Labour government and every government tell you is based on lies, and that includes the Scottish National Party and the rest of them up here in Scotland. Don't be deceived or duped with these liars. All these people are corporations, right? Now, the election, what was not disclosed to the sovereign people of England, Ireland and Wales and Scotland? It wasn't disclosed that these people in Labour are all private corporations registered in Dun and Bradstreet. These governments are not sovereign. This government is not sovereign. It can never be sovereign because the characteristics has changed from a government to a private corporation. Now, their rules, regulations and policies apply to people within that corporation. They don't apply to sovereign people, and that's a fact, because everything with a private corporation relates to the law of contract. We the people don't have a contract with these people. We've never had a contract with these people, and that's a fact. They're just lying, deceiving and committing fraud against the sovereign people in the country. Like an example is Sadiq Khan, the racist, right? Pledging in London he's going to build 40,000 houses for young Muslims. But yet he's put charges on public land, public roads that he's no right to do, because Sadiq Khan, in his own merit, cannot make a claim to the heir of the lands unless he owns them. And he doesn't own them, people. The people have paid for him, right? And that's a fact. Where does he get the authority and from who to put a charge on public land to the sovereign people of London, right? He doesn't have that power. The Mayor of London is a fictitious title that this man hides behind. His name is Sadiq Khan, and he's a man hiding behind a corporation. A corporate mask, a corporate fictitious name, but people still don't get it because they're ignorant to the facts and they don't research and listen to truthers like myself that try to educate them and protect their rights. The sovereign people are not required to pay a charge anywhere on a road, and that's a fact. Now the problem we've got, Starmer is a WEF puppet, a WHO puppet and a NATO puppet. And what he's want to do is he's want to give money to Ukraine to fire weapons at Russia. Russia's done nothing to this country or the people. So why is the people allowing this to happen? There should be an uproar right now telling this Starmer and these puppets that's under his leadership that we do not consent and he's not going to use the public purse to fund wars elsewhere. Starmer and the Tories, two prime examples, are domestic terrorists to this country and our people and our lands. And right now, with the carry on as Starmer giving money to Ukraine, he's putting our country at risk, right? And that's a fact, and he's putting our people at risk, right? Now, there's an agenda here with Starmer and the Labour Party. They want 15-minute cities. They want all the electric cars and the climate change bullshit. There's no climate change in the UK, right? That's a fact. You're being lied to. And for all these people that think there's a climate change, you better go and take a good look in the mirror because you've got it wrong. It's all lies, deception and fraud. And for those people that's buying these electric cars, stop buying these cars, because according to what's happening in December 2025, it's my understanding, is you're going to be taxed in London with these cars. And that's just the start. It's going to come right through, right up to Scotland. This is all about money. It's not about the interests of the people or the country. It's about corporate greed, a hidden agenda that people don't understand, and it's time they do understand, right? Enough is enough, people. People had a reasonable choice to put an end to the power grab. And I said it before, this Mickey Mouse, Tom and Jerry election, right? Reform UK. They will want to do something about the boats and start protecting the people's rights. But everybody rushed to Labour to get the Tories out and the criminals known as SNP. And that's a fact, right? And that's what they are. Every politician in this system is a paid liar. Every politician in this system are criminals at the highest level, committing fraud, deception and tyranny against the sovereign people and all the families. He can afford to give £3 billion to Ukraine. Where does this money come from, people? Right? Because Labour, Tories, SNP, Greens, Libs do not have a pot to piss in. Right? We're trillions in debt. We're not in debt. The corporations is in debt. And this is the other part that people have to understand. It's the corporations that set the debt. It's the corporations that arrange the debt, right, and get the debt. And any funds for that debt is in their name, not the people's name. We the people never gave consent for them to tell us that we have to pay interest or national debts to any corporations. As I've told you, he is now the CEO of the civil service, the Cabinet Office, the government, right? The Cabinet Office, Westminster Parliament, the House of Commons is all private corporations. Scottish Parliaments, English Parliaments, Welsh and Irish are all part of that corporation. They're all subordinate to that corporation. And it's time for the people to wake up and really know what's going on, right? This election and every election prior to that is a fraud against the people, right? I don't know what people's mindset is, but they need to change their mindset because it's wrong. It is wrong, people, the way you're thinking. You're being lied to on a massive scale with criminals, liars, right? And it needs to stop. People are the power, people are the authority, but they just don't know that. And that's why this lands of England, Scotland, Ireland and Wales is in the position it's in, because of ignorance and no understanding and comprehending what's going on. Time for the people to wake up, smell the coffee. We can still put a stop to this tyranny. All we have to do is stand up, be counted and say enough is enough. We don't have a contract with the Westminster government. We don't have a contract with the Scottish Parliament or the Welsh Parliament or the Irish Parliament. And that's a fact. We don't have a contract with any of these people, right? Now, an example would be Sadiq Khan trying to put charges or is putting charges on public land. For him to do that, he would have to claim the people as his property, the lands as his property, right? And there's a contract to the rules that he set and his policies, and you've signed up to these rules. Everything in this legal system, legal society, including the court system, is based on a presumption or an assumption. Unless it's rebutted, it stands in their law, right? And that's a fact. People have to stand up, be counted now, and fight back, right? We can't let this go the way it's gone. And the best thing we maybe start doing is getting ready to give a vote of no confidence, because you've been lied to on a fake manifesto of lies, and it's been proven. And as I told you before, Labour is a private corporation registered and done in Bradstreet, same as the Tories, SNP, Lib Dems, Greens. It's a fact. They don't have the power over the people if the people want to take control. And as I keep telling you in the last umpteen videos, the only way to get control of the lands of England, Ireland, Wales and Scotland is get a sovereign people's government. That way you cut out people like Stammer, the Labour Party, Tories, SNP, Greens, Lib Dems, corporations, get rid of the corporations. Then we can challenge the national debt. And that debt can go back to who created it. The people didn't create it and the people don't want it. Okay, people? Thinking of money that they're pumping out here. Where is this money coming out? Is it a magic wand? Have they got a magic bag? They just put their hand in and pull a pile of money and get away? I don't think so. Somehow people need to wake up and really smell the coffee, right? If you think it was bad with the Tories, well, that was minute to what's coming. I told you before the election, a shitstorm's coming your way, and it's now started, right? But remember, a rule is not a law. A rule is for a private corporation, right? And unless you've got a contract or you're part of that corporation, it doesn't affect the sovereign man or woman. And this is the other bit that has to be understood. You have to determine, people, what you are. Are you a man, a woman, or a person? And this is the person status I keep telling you about. When you register to vote, you become a person. A couple of examples: legal owner, person; inhabitant, person; tenant, person. There's nothing in any of these acts that reflect to a man or woman. And that's why they're getting away with the tyranny against the people that they're getting away with. And it has to stop. And the only ones that can stop that is the people, right? Grow up here, people. Wake up, smell the coffee, research, and let's stand up now, unite, come together and put an end to this, right? They don't have that power if the people stand up and fight back. Please people, it's up to what you want in your life, and the way it's gone, you're not going to have a life with these tyrants, criminals, wrongdoers, and that's a fact. And your sons and daughters are not going to have lives because of this, because of your stupidity and not understanding, and your ignorance of not understanding how this legal system, legal society works. I do. That's why I give the information I do, to try and awaken you. I get somebody on my TikTok the other day, I blocked him. He says because I spoke about reform that I sold Scotland out. How can I sell Scotland out? I'm only one man, right? Now, I wrote back to him before I blocked him. I says, I never sold Scotland out. What I says was reform was a better option to cut the power grab with Labour. And I never said, one of the comments he made is that reform wouldn't fight for the people of Scotland. Well, the fact of the matter is, I never says that in my comment either when I did the last video. And that's the point. People presume to know what I'm saying and interpret in their way when it's not what they're thinking and how I'm saying things, right? I tell you what I tell you, people, with good heart, good intention. Whether you comprehend and understand, whether you trust or believe, not believe, comprehend and understand. Believe means no evidence, thought or think, right? That means nothing. It's up to you how you interpret my information that I'm giving you, people. If I could give information without doing videos, I wouldn't be on TikTok, BitChute or YouTube, right? I don't want to be doing videos to tell you the truth, but that's the only way I can educate people, right? And it's stressful, because I do a lot of things behind the scenes that people are not aware of. I've not really got a life. I've seen my granddaughter 5 times in 2 years. That's terrible, people. And it's going to change because I need to get my life in order instead of worry about everybody else's life and problems. Anyway, people, so much for Starmer being the so-called Prime Minister. Again, that's a fictitious corporate title. He's hiding behind a mass government as a fictitious name. It's an entity. The United Kingdom, one more time, is not a country. It's a corporation. And you'll find it in Dun & Bradstreet, right? I found out something else as well. I've been watching a few videos, people talking about the Queen's Bench. Well, this is a message to you people. Are you aware that the Queen's Bench is registered in Dun & Bradstreet as a private corporation? So you're actually interacting with a corporation. And when it gets changed to King's Bench, I'm positively sure it's going to be registered in Dun & Bradstreet the same as everybody else. Please people, wake up. There's a lot of gurus out there making money off of people on TikTok. I'm not one of them, I'm glad to say, right? And they keep going on about these rules. When you get into their rules, you become a person. And in their court system, if some get a couple of results, it'll be minor results, they don't hear you, they don't see you, they don't recognise you because they can't interact with a man or a woman. They can only interact with the person, the entity that was created by the Crown Corporation. Time for you people to wake up, smell the coffee, and I hope you take a lot of good out of this video because it's done with good intention, people, good heart. Anyway, please share this information far and wide. I now hope that you understand the difference between persuasion and coercion, because what's happened is a manifesto, as I said at the start of the video, they've told you, they've persuaded you to vote for them with their lies and their fake wording. The coercion now comes in, and I've told you what coercion is, okay? To force act or choice, compel you to an act or choice by threat, fear and force, right? That's coming now, as you'll find out as time goes on. And it's up to you to stand up and say, we're not accepting that. Enough is enough, people. Please share this video far and wide. Make sure everybody gets it out there and get this information out there. And hopefully people will start paying attention. And again, I'd like to thank everybody that's took time to join my TikTok page, repost and share the videos and the great comments, apart from a couple of individuals that's not got a clue. Other than that, thank you for that, people. Take care, be safe, and I'll speak soon. Bye bye.